And so, now that we have gotten the basic principles of everything, I think we should go and see some of the locals. Have a little look in in our first main store. And here we have Poppy, who is absolutely adorable. I'd say sort of Poppy is one of my favourite MySims, just because she's really sweet. Unfortunately, we can't really do anything for her at the minute. We have to go see Rosalind. Poppy's interests are cute and fun, and she hates spooky, so don't do any spooky stuff. She's directly opposite to her sister, who is Violet, who we've already seen. So anyway, the main kind of thrust of MySims is doing the tasks for people. So basically, you'll talk to them, they'll tell you what they need, how many essences they want on it, and then you've got to go and build it, and then bring it back to them. It's a very simple concept, but it's certainly fun, if slightly tedious sometimes. It really depends. Anywho, let's get started on this podium. The game's just telling us that you can paint with essences, or you can grab them from the backpack. Generally, your best way to get the essences onto stuff is simply to paint them on. But as you'll see eventually, I do kind of mix it up sometimes, although it is mostly paint essence colouring that I do. I also seem to follow a very kind of standard colouring process, in that everything is the same colour, even if it's like that kind of doesn't follow through as it should do. I mean, to be perfectly honest, you're not going to get it perfect, so oh well. It looks fine. To be perfect honest, I'm going to be very lazy with most of these builds, and after a certain point, I will just be kind of cropping the builds into much shorter chunks, because the builds do get longer and longer and longer. I mean, I think towards the end, there's stuff that I ended up spending like 12 minutes on, and I'm gonna kind of cut that down to about 1 minute. Which sounds like I'm cutting out a lot of content, but it's a lot of content that you don't need to see. You'll understand. Yes, you can practice all your important speeches against that picture of a key. And that's all the tasks that Mayor Rosalind has for you, which is very nice of her to not give us any more tasks. Unfortunately, now means that our only hope of getting any increase on our star rating is by going and talking to other people. Makes me sound like a complete and utter antisocial person, but oh well. Let's go and see Poppy again, and hopefully she will actually have something for us this time. Aw, she fell asleep. Poor Poppy. Now, generally, kind of, you have 2 levels of... Well, how do I put this? So, one of the main things that you will want to do in this game is befriend everybody. You meet everybody as an acquaintance, then generally, with the commercial sims, after completing all their tasks, they will be your friend, or if you are nice to them enough, then they will be your friend. Basically, everyone wants to be your friend, so unless you are absolutely evil to them, then they will be your friend. Now, you can make them your best friends, which is generally accomplished by maxing out their interests, which works, but is maybe slightly irritating to do. Now, the way that I'm going to go about MySims is by I'm going to get the first task from the sim, the sim that I'm going to do the work for. But after that, I am going to go and get every single essence that I will need for every single task for that sim. Basically, sort of, it's just to kind of cut down time, or at least kind of cut down swapping and swapping between, okay, get these essences, build, get these essences, build, get these essences, build. So instead, you will basically just have massive essence collecting hunt, massive build section, just so it kind of, the pace changes up a bit, and is just generally better. Now, at the start here, kind of getting the stuff, getting the essences is pretty easy because they never ask for too many. Eventually that will get worse, sometimes mostly to the point where they're asking you for more essences than there are parts of the blueprint. So you do have to get creative to design some magnificent things to get this to work. Now, one of the kind of main things that you've probably noticed about MySims, and it's one of the things that I really love about MySims, is its art style. MySims is kind of very chibi inspired, because all the characters are quite super deformed. This was the idea of Emi Toyonaga, who can't quite remember what she does on the game, but she played an important role. Because in an interview with the official Nintendo magazine, she remarked, "Well, Mario and other Nintendo characters are pretty short and stubby. Also, being Japanese, I'm used to the mindset that fun games should have shorter, stubbier characters, so these characters kind of came naturally." In March 2007, in Nintendo Power, one of the designers, Robin Hunick, said that the character designs were also there to imply youthfulness, and that the aesthetic was chosen for worldwide appeal, while referring to the lesser sales of previous sim games in Japan compared to other territories. Also, according to official Nintendo magazine, one of the characters in MySims, Chaz McFreely, is based on their then editor, Chandra Nair, apparently. The game's music is composed by John Enroth and Silas Hite, or Kite, I don't know, of Mutato Musica, who is a music production company established in 1989 by Mark Mothersbaugh. They've apparently produced music for many films, including Rushmore, The Royal Tenenbaums, The Life Aquatic, Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen, 13, Lords of Dogtown, Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, and Catfish, as well as doing music for TV shows, including Rugrats, Scooby-Doo, Pee-wee's Playhouse, Big Love, Eureka, Shameless, Enlightened, and Regular Show. They've also produced video game scores, including Crash Bandicoot and I think other Sims games. So they've done quite a lot. Basically, yeah, it's Crash Bandicoot, Crash Bandicoot 2, Crash Bandicoot 3. They've also done Jak and Daxter and Boom Blocks. So the people behind this are relatively well versed in creating music, particularly this kind of aesthetic of music. There's actually no generic theme for the areas of the town, which can get slightly annoying. Because, like, you'd expect to have like a town theme, theme for some later areas that we'll come across, but basically the music changes depending on what type of building the player is visiting. So when you go to Poppy's shop, it'll play Poppy's flower shop theme, and so on and so forth. So there's a specific motif for each business and for each interest, so it works out quite well, really. And also, the music's just really calming and chill, and it's just really sweet. I really do like the music for MySims, even if it is really simple. And here we have one of the instances of MySims frame rate deciding it's going to crap out. Either that, or I got sidetracked during this build. Oops. Either way, I should probably go on to discuss general reception for MySims. Now, it was fairly mixed, but it was mostly decent. Kind of mostly known for the colourful graphics and cheery and fun gameplay, but it's criticised for having too much of a focus on construction and collecting essences, which is very true. You'll see this as we go along, and that's basically all you do in the game. IGN said that the problem is that nearly all of the objectives revolve around the same two tasks, the collection of essences and the construction of houses, buildings and items. All of the sim management and social interaction elements of the previous games, well, you're not going to find much of that in the streamlined Wii affair. Which is very true, because kind of, you think of the Sims and you think of characters interacting with each other and all sorts of crazy stuff, as well as massive chances for creativity in what you put in your house. Now, the construction was praised by GameSpot for being intuitive and flexible, and because the presentation is cheery and clean. That was for the Wii version, because the DS counterpart has not been received as well. The DS counterpart is virtually an all-new game in design, and the reception of its control scheme varied greatly. Resolution magazine said the game would be enjoyed by those whose age is a single digit, but the game would grow quickly tiresome for anybody else. Now, I can't say the same for the Wii version. The Wii version can be enjoyed by someone who's older than a single digit. You just might have to be of a certain disposition, like myself. Because it's just like, it's weird. Like, technically I probably shouldn't like MySims. I mean, it's certainly not a game that you would expect a 19-year-old guy to be playing. It's a bit too cute and sweet for that. But even then, it's just, it's fun, and it's sweet, and it's something that you can enjoy. Now, Buddy there is one of the only characters that you can't kick out of your town. Interest being geeky, tasty, and he hates spooky. He's actually kind of somewhat of a fan favourite, although most of his fans are women. And initially he was going to have brown hair, but he certainly looks better with blonde. Definitely. But he is actually voiced by a guy called Greg Sipes, who is apparently a relatively well-known voice actor and a singer as well. Apparently also a professional surfer. His kind of most famous work is Beast Boy in Teen Titans. What else is there? There's looks Michelangelo in the 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series. I don't know some of those TV shows. That's terrible. I'm trying to see if there's anything that looks ghostly, kind of familiar to me. Nope. But still, something for you there. Now, I've kind of been scooting over Chef Gino Delicioso. Gino's interests are tasty and fun, and he hates geeky. So I've got a generally geek-hating town at the minute. This isn't good. I'm kind of a bit of a geek myself. A lot of a geek myself. So let's just see that. Now, strangely, Gino's last name, Delicioso, is Spanish, even though Gino himself is Italian. He also has a cousin called Charlie in the DS version, but he doesn't exist here. Now, one thing that kind of could be suggested is he's based off Mario, because Mario had a pizza restaurant in one game, and they both travelled together, something that they need, but nobody really cares. Also, on the box art for MySims, Gino has brown hair, even though he actually has black hair in the game. There's a lot of kind of hair changing in stuff. It's really weird. Now, at this point, we should be able to do Poppy's third task. Unfortunately, the game it does not want me to do it just yet, which is really weird. I remember having problems kind of getting the Poppy's third mission to unlock when I was younger as well. But oh well, let's just go talk to Gino and get his task, seeing as Poppy won't give me hers. Clearly she hates me. I'm hurt. So, let's have a little jig. It's a bit too bluesy for me, actually. So, what do you want, Duck? Oh, you want an oven? Oh, we can do that. Let's go. Yeah.